So I'm gonna make a few assumptions here. You're between the age 16 to 24, you're either overweight, extremely skinny, or skinny but have a lot of belly fat, you've recently been feeling a little lonely, and you've mostly lived a rather average life. Up until you watch this video. It's gonna change your life. This may surprise you, but less than 1% of the population is actually considered fit and have an aesthetic body. You heard me right, less than 1%. You may not believe me due to every time opening Instagram you're flooded with endless pictures of guys with shredded six packs, and you're out here with your six pack of beers. But you have to remember, social media only shows you the best. People only want to show you the best angles, lighting, and even edited photos of themselves, which isn't realistic at all. But people still believe it and use it as an excuse. Oh, it's just good genetics. They were born that way. It's not fair. So it's no wonder that the self-esteem of the majority of people has gone to shit. But I'm here to tell you, you can do it. You can build the body that you've dreamed of your whole life. It's not unrealistic at all. It's not hard to be better than the mass majority of people these days. You don't want to be average, right? Deep down you know that you don't want to end up like everyone else, overweight, skinny, weak. Deep down you really want to be different, but you haven't done anything about it yet, so it's time that we change that. So there's three main things that influence how much progress we make on building an aesthetic physique. The first one, obviously, being working out. So I believe that the best workout split to gain muscle and strength, especially for beginners, is a 3-day full body split. Forget about thinking that you need to go to the gym 6 days a week in order to gain muscle, because that's just not true. Plus, you'll easily get burnt out and demotivated on 6 days a week. 3 days a week is perfect for beginners because you'll be hitting each muscle group 3 times a week, versus the typical bro split 1 time per week. This will send a much bigger anabolic signal to your muscles to grow even faster. So you're working out less, but for more gain. Seems like a win-win to me. You'll have 3 workouts with a day rest in between, focusing on 1 muscle per exercise. This is build your own workout program simulator, by the way. Starting with your legs. Don't forget to train them unless you fantasize over Larry the Lobster. For legs, squats, deadlifts, and lunges are by far the best exercises, so you want to choose one of these exercises to do first per workout. Make absolute sure to practice your form first before increasing the weight, because you don't want to end up in the ER before you can PR. But once you perfect your form, you can start using sets and reps. So for squats and deadlifts, you want to do 3 sets of 5, and until you can use, for example, let's say you're squatting 60 kg or 135 pounds for 3 sets of 5 reps. Until you can do those easily, add a little more weight to the bar the next time you squat. So now you're doing 65 kg for 3 sets of 5. This is called progressive overload. It's the most important thing for muscle growth. So you want to make absolute sure you're milking the fuck out of it and getting stronger, because strength gains is a direct correlation of muscle growth. We'll be using the same concept with every exercise. So with lunges, we'll be doing 3 sets of 10 reps. And let me tell you, you'll never want to do lunges ever again because of the burn, which is why it's so good. Next up is the chest. Our main exercise is the classic bench press. We'll be going heavy on these, so 3 sets of 5 reps. There's also the incline bench press, which will target the upper pec muscle more, which you'd want to grow because it's one of the most aesthetic muscles. Without a well-developed upper chest, you'll literally have udders. And because of that, we'll be doing 3 sets of 8 reps while really focusing on the squeeze on your chest. And lastly, we have dips. These are excellent for building the lower chest and your triceps. If you can't do dips, I'd just repeat the bench press or incline press again. But if you can, go for as many reps as possible until you can get at least 10 reps with every set. Then you're going to actually want to progressively overload with weight, so maybe using a backpack or a dumbbell between your legs or an actual dip belt. So yeah, start adding weight to the dips as quick as possible. And yeah, that's basically it for chest. That's all you really need as a beginner. Next is the back, heavily underrated in terms of aesthetics. We'll first be doing pull downs for 3 sets of 10 reps. Then any row of your choice. It could be a barbell row, a T-bar row, seated cable row for 3 sets of 8 reps. And finally, pull-ups. My favorite back exercise. Like with dips, if you can't do these, I'd either use a pull-up assist machine or just do lat pull downs again. We'll be going for as many reps as we can and making sure to progressively overload when we can. Moving on to shoulders. The front head of our shoulders will be hit pretty hard with the pressing movements we already did, so we'll be focusing mainly on the side head of the shoulder, which is arguably one of the most aesthetic body parts when fully developed. Because of this, make sure to do side lateral raises at least twice a week. Keep the weight and tempo light and controlled to really feel the burn. We'll be doing these for 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. Next we have everyone's favorite, biceps. The main movement we're going to do is a barbell or easy bar curl because it's the most easiest to progressively overload with. And the other exercise we're going to do is just a dumbbell bicep curl of your choice. Just whatever feels good. We'll be doing both of those for 3 sets of 10 reps. And finally, triceps. First we're going to do the press down and really focus on the squeeze and burn of the tricep for 3 sets of 12 reps. If you don't have a cable machine, you can use a dumbbell instead. And finally, my favorite tricep exercise, the skull crusher. This will target the long head of your tricep, which will account for most of your entire arm. For this, ideally, we want to use an easy bar, but you can use dumbbells as well. Really focus on getting a deep stretch at the bottom, really going all the way down and exploding on the top while keeping your elbows somewhat stationary. Do this for 3 sets of 10 reps. So yeah, just choose one exercise to do per muscle group, per workout, and you can mix and match if you really want to. And yeah, that's it. By following this 3-day-a-week frequency, you'll see crazy amounts of muscle and strength gains very soon. Remember, more doesn't automatically mean better, especially for working out. And also, feel free to swap any exercises if you hit a plateau or can't do them for whatever reason. This is more of a guide instead of a program to get you started and learning about your body. The second thing that determines how much progress you make is your diet. If you eat like shit and still expect to make gains, it's like asking Andrew Tate to go work a 9 to 5. I'm gonna make this super simple, so if you're overweight, just try to eat a little less every day, and start with at least 1 serving of vegetables per day and slowly increase that as you get better. If you're skinny but have a lot of belly fat, definitely eat a little more than you usually do to put on size and muscle at a quicker rate. I know you skinny fat guys think that losing weight is the way, but trust me, it's not. You're still skinny, so if you cut down first, sure, you might gain a little muscle because of newbie gains, but you're just gonna end up with little to no muscle mass on your frame and probably look even worse. Trust me on this, I was there, so bulk. But just try to eat as healthy as possible, especially if you're trying to lose weight. The random burger here and there won't hurt that much, but just make sure not to make it a habit. And finally, the last thing is your sleep. You could have an extremely dialed in workout program and diet, but if you don't get enough sleep, you're like throwing everything in the garbage. When we sleep is when we build muscle and lose fat, so make sure to get at the very least 8 hours of sleep every single day, no exceptions. So yeah, those 3 things, workout, sleep, and diet, made as simple as possible. If you truly stay consistent and work hard, I promise you'll see results and your future self will be glad that you started in the first place.